Dire team pick.
And a Phoenix. Okay, well, this is an immense amount of team fight from Army Geniuses. They're doubling down, and that's a big weakness that Neon have at the moment. They just want to continuously run at you. They're not as reliant on cooldowns like in pretty much the only one with Shapeshift. So remaining. This is now the question. Do you go for some team fight yourself, or are you going to go for pick-off? And that's a really, really good pick. That's a really good pick, though, because it gives you both. It gives you team fight with the wall. You can also combine that up with the itemization for the coddle, which can help out with your team fight if he goes Aghanims. But then it enables your Spirit Breaker, it enables your Lycan, and also your position 1 from 4, 5, 8. Actually, it's going to be the Lycan more than likely. So it just further enables how aggressive you want to get. So I'm actually a really big fan of this pick.
Not great heroes that become illusions, though, with a wall of replica.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to be dishing out a ton of damage. It's more just about the control, right? So I'm sure that if you can layer it on with a Will-O-Wisp, I just have this sneaking suspicion that for whatever reason this is going to be a Keeper of the Light mid. I don't like it if that's the case. And they do still need some sort of way to hit the egg. So maybe they could look to change something up a little bit. It's not a mid Lycan, would it be?
Do you feel like this is Makoto's wheelhouse to potentially play the...
Not really.
And is the coddle even for that factor too? Like, do you want him more in a... I mean, we have seen coddle be a bit of a playmaker, which is tempo controlling surprisingly.
5 seconds remaining.
But again,
I just feel like since the nerfs, I don't think it's viable. Personally.
Yeah, that's my big question as well. They're going to ban out the Void Spirit and the Queen of Pain. Army Genius are lacking a little bit of guaranteed control, and they also have 23rd as pick as well for Army Geniuses, so they're going to have to blind pick into the mid matchup.
10 seconds remaining.
I think they're just looking on Army Geniuses side to get rid of all sorts of heroes, because right now the Vac Wall is nice, but they don't have anything other than Illuminate that's going to really combo together with it. So taking out the Void Spirit, the Queen of Pain, that's good ways to be able to counter it out. They don't care if the damage is like gradual, kind of like the Ion Shell, because you've got the Phoenix to be able to counter it, and a Gyrocopter probably, at least in the later stages of the game, is going to have the Aghanim Scepter plus a Morbid Mask, so at least you're going to have some kind of ability to lifesteal, and then of course the swap, if that's the case, blah 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 blah. So I think it's just about negating that initial burst as much as possible. Wyvern banned though, huh? Okay.
Oh, is there Mamang? I'm trying to think of Mamang Dai heroes that they got left. Not a lot of time. They
Dawnbreaker.
Surely. A Magnus, okay. You know when Siri randomly just speaks? Ever happen to you? I don't know. Siri just sometimes feels like she's.
I'm not an Apple sheep, so no, that never happens.
Okay. All right. They don't really have heroes to pair up. Wait. So we got Avenge support?
5 seconds remaining.
Yes. +5, probably. Yeah, I'd say plus. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Both sides are able to stack, right? You've got the Wave of Terror, you've got the Fiery Spirit. So it doesn't matter where they put the Venge or the Phoenix in terms of their farm. What would pair together better, though?
They're gonna Lesh. Okay.
I like it. Again, AoE damage into this. I think Ember would get punished way too hard by the Mag mid, which I think is the case. Yeah, Mamang Dai is playing it. I want the Venge to be with a Mars.
I don't think I like the map. I feel like I think OB.Neon have a huge window to run over this game, but if they lose 2 fights, then Army Geniuses with their team fight and you seen the heroes, brother? You seen who's playing them, I should say?
Yes. Yes, I see it.
This is changed.
Okay, but the big weakness that we were saying with running the Vengeful Spirit as the position 1 hero was that if it does not pop off and it does not snowball and you don't win the game super early on, you need a mid laner that's able to then convert into the carry. And Magnus is that. You know, you have the empower, you're going to be able to get a good amount of farm on your own. You can be that more passive farmer while the rest of your team is out there getting kills and doing whatever. So at least you've got that, right? Previously, I forget what it was paired together with, but it was something like, you know, a spirit hero that is also kind of accomplishing the same thing as a position 1 Venge. But at least this time around, you've got essentially it's only Mag TA that are going to be able to do it from the mid lane in my eyes. So they've got that. They've got the backup on Army Genius's side.
I'm really worried for how that lane's going to go. Like, I haven't seen the Venge into the Darks here, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be a solid lane. You got very low attack range, low health pool. Gyrocopter's pretty squishy as well. I don't see how they're going to keep their lives, especially like level 3, level 4. You've just got ways to
Prepare
obliterate them with ease. Just chase them down and dive onto the tower at any stage you really want to, and then what's
I
going
don't
on
know
here?
what's going on.
I'm trying to see what's going on with the boys, but all right. So does DB playing the Vengeful Spirit change your opinion at all?
Of who's going to win the game?
Yes.
I still think the Mag can be that carry in the later stages, so not necessarily.
So you reckon Army Genius got this one in the bag then?
Not in the bag. I still
Where's the
like
conviction?
Makoto Lesh. Could go either way. Let me think. How are the lanes individually going to go? I feel like Neon are going to win the off lane. I feel like mid lane should either be... Yeah, it should be pretty even.
To battle.
Top lane... even-ish, I suppose. So, man, that's a lot of tips. So, with that being said, let's say Neon, because it's like 1 lane 1.
Yeah, I feel like Neon gonna run over this game before Radiant hit their times. I think if they make too many mistakes on Neon, then Army Geniuses with how they can scale and team fight, I would be comfortable with them. But the question is if they can get to that stage, and I don't feel like they can. It's always like, you get a lot of the games where it's like one team's on a timer. Do they, like, if they... I feel comfortable, or I feel I can see their window to win in like 20-25 minutes, but if they make a couple mistakes, then the other team, I'm like, okay, they should be able to take it this time. I'm gonna favor with the team on the timer, just because I'm worried at how Army Geniuses is going to be able to perform overall. I was not too impressed with Neon when we casted them versus, I think it was Boom we saw them against. No, it was against SMG last time we casted Pro Series, and they didn't look the greatest, but I feel like they have a way to run over Army Geniuses, and the answers just aren't there on rating. But if the lanes go well, then that's a really good start.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't think that this bottom lane should go very well for Army Geniuses. You know, like you said, once Xiao Yu has his level 3, you've got that extra damage coming out from the Ion Shell. There's very little that they're going to be able to do to contest into it. Venge obviously having very short attack range, same sort of thing with the Gyrocopter, and it's position 5 Gyro, so you're not going stats, you're not going flat cannon, you need to get that homing missile and rocket barrage and be in close, and, well, you're just going to be taking just as much damage if that's the case.
It's funny as well that Xiao Yu asked DB who girl name is. I feel like that's we've been kind of questioning that whenever we are seeing Army Geniuses. Everyone's got, you know, their girlfriends or something as their little name at the end, and unfortunately we didn't get an answer or one that we could understand. But Xiao Yu's trying to help the fellow brothers out. I respect that. How's this mid lane looking here for Mamangdai at the moment? It does feel like it's a lane where the Magnus should be able to farm at a pretty rapid rate, considering the Lesh can't really trade in CS in any regard, but Kodo just has to make sure. Bottom lane, Zhao Yu. In fact, almost dying here. If they can... They do have a double stun from UK and DB, and you see that UK is doing a decent job at the moment to put some pressure in.
They did actually respond to the what does girl name mean? Do you know, it said your Xiao Mei Mei. Do you know what that is?
I do not know what that means.
Your little sister.
Okay. Do you do a Google Translate on that one, or?
No, I'm fluent in all languages.
Ah. Well, I didn't know that. All languages. That must be hard. It would be.
It's the burden.
What's the burden of being fluent in all languages? I must know. Please enlighten me.
Well, when I'm down at the market and I can hear people talking about me behind my back when they think I can't understand them, you know, it does hit at my self-confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, but then you can just, yeah, sometimes when they're not expecting it, you can hit back with a snarly remark, and I feel like that's the way to go.
Yeah, and then I can post about it online and say everyone clapped when I turned around and, you know, responded to them.
And you can get online points.
Internet points. Yeah.
They're very important. Oh, first blood. DB. The Venge 1 will pick it up. They'll get some retribution as Hustler actually doesn't continue the chase on UK. We went to the eastern side of the tree line instead of just hugging the west there. So UK actually makes it away on the 5 gyrocopter. Playing.
Be careful though.
Or 5A. It's in trouble here. Spear claims the kill. Genuel now it's going to take a little bit of damage as well. They've got the dive to slow down the Keeper Light, and looks like these lanes, especially top, is going incredible for Army Geniuses. That's a long-range attack.
It's just Mars thing. Every single new hero that they release always seems to have some insane sort of attack range, whether it be the Monkey King or the Mars or the Void Spirit. All of them have more than standard melee attack range. It's kind of stupid.
Kodo's 3 skill points holding at the moment.
Saving it for a rainy day, you know?
Yeah.
You never know when you could need it.
Would you... I feels like at this stage he's probably going to go Edict. I feel like if you wanted the Lightning Storm, then you would have put some points into it by now.
Yeah, I would say Edict. I mean, maybe he might have looked to put a little bit more emphasis into it, but with the TP in from UK, he gave him the salve, he refilled the bottle, and then he got a water rune on top of that, so I feel like Mamangdai is not going to be at risk of dying anytime soon.
Wami might find Xiao. Just a little bit of damage here. Doesn't have the backup of the Phoenix at the moment. Is he actually just gonna do it himself, man? Genuel is such a low health pool, and Wami's already got a killing spree, so
Top tower is under attack.
Top's definitely going a lot better than I was anticipating. I thought it was gonna go somewhat even, but Army Genius is showing that the Mars and Phoenix still got what we've seen time and time again with the duo.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I'm surprised that he's died twice. Like, that second one, now that the Boots of Speed are available on the Mars, I'm like, okay, you know, that's kind of viable. But before that, you've got a very significant movement speed advantage on this Keeper versus a Mars or a Phoenix who are trying to chase you down.
Neon looking to try and put some emphasis on the tier 1 tower mid. Unfortunately, they resulted in a bit of a wall thanks to the glyph used from Army Geniuses, but with 2 supports standing nearby, they're going to continue to chase on fall for Lim. Is the charge done enough? And Dakota will just get in range. They have compromised their positioning a little bit, but Dakota is speedy enough with the haste, so they'll just miss on the wall timing. And now Hustler as well has charge up in a couple seconds, so he too will make it away. They do get the deny on the tower, but a heavy commitment to defend the middle lane.
A tithe to the impurity.
Still though, you're fairly happy that you're able to get the deny off. You know, it lessens the effect of the snowball coming through. And, well, it means that, it does mean that Hustler, right, a lot of his movements are going to be more difficult to respond to. You know, it's a lot about vision when you're coming up against that Spirit Breaker, and, well, they know that they've got a decent time now that the laning stage, at least for Makoto, has had a decent start. So looking to give level 6 over to Hustler. That'll finish him up his urn as well. And then he's going to look to get super active beyond then.
They didn't do too much to slow down DB's farm at the moment. Makoto actually. Gonna run straight into UK. They even dropped the wall, so a lot of hate for UK's 5 gyrocopter, and now DB's getting dived as well. They've got the charge to make sure there's no escape right now with Eventualist Spirit. Mangdai's gonna look to TP in, but he gets clipped from the charge, so can't answer for the own RP. You'll still be able to find both of them. Doesn't have the damage at the moment. He's going to be cautious because Makoto's still got a lot of mana as well to burn through the mag, and Hustler just completes a level 6 with charge on forward. He's going to die to the Fire Spirit. He will, but they are more than happy with what they've accomplished down bot. A triple for Makoto along with the tier 1 tower to boot.
And you know how I mentioned before, you've got this... Oh, they're actually going to look to make an attempt onto Makoto. It'll be more than an attempt, most likely. As, well, the second use of the rocket barrage, is it going to be enough? Is he going to get the kill? Alright. I mean, sure, he goes down, but he gets a return kill for his troubles, and that bottom tower is sitting super low as well, so anyone, it feels like, could just make a move down here and look to take it out in pretty quick fashion. But, you know, I was talking about before, even though you've got this Vengeful Spirit 1 who's having a pretty good time, it has to be said. DB, he's already picked up the equivalent of 2 parts of the Aghanim Scepter at the 9-minute mark. The fail-safe, or the backup plan in the Magnus, he's sitting dead last in terms of all of those cores. So mid lane going a lot better for the Leshrac than I thought it could have potentially done.
Arena in the river. Mars looks like it's more defensive arena. This is a big kill to pick up as well, as it's going to be Makoto to find it. So continuing the strong start here from the Fairy Pony. Looks like these players friendly as always. We see Army Geniuses. When are they never? They're always. We've had some interviews, especially with UK, and they're quite the team, a band of brothers almost, with how long they've been together, and considering how tight-knit Southeast Asia is as well, almost. Always playing the pubs, and you see always, you know, the good old banter in the Orchard chat like we saw to start the game, and just continuing on to.
I feel like Makoto is always going to be the big target for it as well, being the only Indonesian right now on Neon. Another charge coming through, this time under the cover of smoke, so I'm not sure if DB is going to be able to respond in time to it.
Makoto's backing him up, another haste rune. Get the chain control just to set up for the extra follow-up, and in fact, Army Genius is not even going to look to protect DB, and we're going to try and transition this into another killer's limb. They're well aware the dive's on cooldown, and still not the level 6. There's no opportunity for extra reinforcements, and Manjao even looking to teeter on the edge of the triangle here. Just give them some information and really slow down whatever they can for Mamang Dyer.
Yeah, I mean, they've planted the Sentry Ward down, so that's going to stop a lot of that comeback potential for the Magnus, who's still sitting last in terms of the core net worth. And, you know, when you've got this this Keeper of the Light and you are somewhat lacking in super early damage, he's got the Infused Raindrops, he's got the Tranquil Boots, so even though the rocket ended up connecting in onto him, he's able to shrug it off and just walk on away.
Oh, not another one. Looks like this one's a little bit too deep now for Neon. Getting a lot of map control. 3 tier 1 towers, resulting in a 3,000 net worth lead, and top of the net worth is the Leshrac, and meanwhile, I mean, you are getting close. Ooh, Lycan's gone drums, actually. Are you a fan of this?
On the Lycan?
Yeah, he's gone Helm Dom into the drums.
Short answer, no. Long answer, hell no.
Okay. What? How does that work?
Well, I mean, like, what exactly is this going to provide for you? I feel like the
hold
only
that thought,
person...
DB. Again, they're going to continue to slow down the Ags. 3 deaths now. He was having a much better lane than we were anticipating, but these past couple of deaths is not what you're hoping for.
I mean, who's really taking advantage of the benefits of the drums, right? Like, you've got the passive movement speed, but you're a Lycan, doesn't really matter. You've got a Leshrac, okay, he's actually gone the arcane boots instead of the boots of travel on Makoto. So it is going to help him a fair amount, but Spirit Breaker doesn't care about movement speed. Darkseer doesn't care about movement speed. Keeper of the Light's already fast. And who's really using the attack speed bonus other than the Lycan? I mean, I guess the Spirit Breaker, but
DB.
Makoto, Coddle, Darkseer.
He just
not them.
TP down. DB just wants an inch of space to be able to find his farm. You gotta be careful if you tunnel vision with all the big ultimates that Army Geniuses currently have in the arsenal. But up on the high ground, Hustler, it blocked off the assault of the Spirit Breaker. And that will also help keep DB alive.
But now.
Now.
We'll see. Don't walk into the wall, DB. Okay.
Are you surprised that Makoto went for the arcane, considering they have the Keeper of the Light?
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that he's looking for the eventual build into the Bloodstone. You know, you can see he's already got the Kaya queued up, which is fairly standard, but then he can just look to disassemble it, just build up the point booster and the vitality booster, and then go back into the boots of travel after that.
Oh, with that, it's going to give him an immense amount of damage if he can look for the early rush there with how he's been performing. I mean, top of the net worth, he's going to get there at no time at all. But for Neon, do you feel like they're at the stage where they need to in this game with the time of their own 4,000 gold? Is this what you were hoping them to be at about 13 minutes in?
Yes, I thought that the mag would have probably about at least 1,000 more farm than he has right now, though. So that's the big weakness that I'm seeing right now on Army Geniuses. Yes, they've finished up the Blink Dagger, but the damage just still isn't there.
You reading chat?
Let me have a look. Uh-huh.
I do not think Xiaoyu missed that time.
Mm-hmm. What makes you say that? Results?
Results? The inconsistency in the plays staying. And
Yeah, they're even using these Lycan Wolves to keep lanes shoved out a little bit with the Ion Shell on top of them. Oh no, DB, he's being chased down. He's got the passive damage coming in onto him, and you've got the big bull charging you soon. He stops it though.
You see how Lim's just being a bodyguard almost. Not that the Phoenix is the greatest at doing so, but at least standing hand in hand just in case they make another attempt to dive DB like they did previously. So trying to at least give him some time to work towards the Aghanims. Meanwhile, they've also done a very good job to just protect Mamain Die by the triangle. Two very defensive observer wards in place, recognizing that they need some time for the Magnus to get online. He's got the blink into the Echo Saber, so he does have ways to be able to join these fights, maybe hoping for the level 2 before he does, but Neon not going to give them the opportunity, so looking to make a 5-man movement down to bot. They really want this tier 2 tower.
Already gone ahead and actually disassembled those arcane boots, so boots of travel now available for Makoto. I mean, you've got a Keeper of the Light backing you up, so the Chakra Magic is gonna replace the use of the arcane boots a little bit, and well, probably even better so. So that's 15 minutes. Being able to take the outpost, probably one of the earliest times that you'll see out there. Still get the 15-minute mark experience, but that'll probably be the last that they see of it for a very long time.
See smoke up, Neon.
He's finally got his Ags now on DB.
Alright, well if they can take a fight around this high ground, Bomb is in a pretty good spot to pop the smoke. 1600 health as well. Gonna be Kiev. Genuel can get the D ward. But Meng Dai, it's only an RP onto the Darkseer. They're gonna drag him further back in a position where Xiao Yu can just find the combination. But the Supernova off to the eastern side, they'll control the Lycan so they can't pop the egg. Stunning up 3. DB is gonna look to swap into the middle of the fight. They've only lost Meng Dai. No other heroes just yet, but it looks like Makoto's gonna reign supreme as the Lestrak goes completely untouched along with all the rest of Neon's heroes.
That was the perfect egg placement as well, right on the edge of the Mars arena, meaning that it was only one hit away from it still being able to go down, but that's enough for it to be able to pop off. But 0 kills for Army Geniuses, 3 for Neon. You're very happy with that turned out, and I was looking at it before. This urn on the Phoenix, I would call it optimistic, considering how the early game has gone. He has not had a charge in that for the longest time.
It's been a run. What do you reckon he's gonna say next? Who's he need help from? Which person on the team is annoying Wami?
Let's see who's in the area. Let's say Lim.
Lim feels harmless. I don't know. You know, DB could be a cheeky fella. I don't know. UK, he seems harmless as well. Maybe just 510 Mars is needing some assistance to he's wanting Neon to maybe try and throw this one. He got no response as well, so this is all game faces for Neon at this stage in.
One thing now is like it's gonna become so late, but that Blink Dagger on the Mars when he eventually does look to pick it up, if he's able to get it onto the Darkseer, who's already finished up his pipe, so he's always going to have that passive 10% magic resist for himself. If he's got the Ion Shell precast, actually no, he doesn't have the Ags, never mind. He's just going full Aura bot. Makes sense. I mean, they're not really lacking in survivability right now with that blinding light and with the immense amount of crowd control that you've got with a Spirit Breaker. So I'm not hating it, but you should remember.
Dude, Wami's saying DB's useless. Come on, man. I guess that's why he was needing help. He's even... They keep picking him the Venge 1. Just don't draft him the 1.
Radiant's middle tower.
Oh, Makoto setting up on
Wami.
Just oh no, he's gonna need help himself. Charge from across the map, but
Can Venge stun him? Or swap? Nope. See, this is why he needed help from the Venge, because this was happening.
They got vision of Lim as well, Hustler. Yes, you've taken a tier 2 tower bot, but mid seems very difficult to find, and I don't see how Dai get Roche without taking probably a wipe. So it does feel like this game might stagnate out for a little bit. Unless Makoto he's already back up to full mana? Oh yes, just cuddle stuff with someone who likes to spam abilities. You'd love to see that from Makoto. Pretty much full uptime, and he's getting incredibly farmed. He's gone for the Sun, so looking for the Sunj and Kyra, presumably afterwards. Meng Dai, they got the vision as well. TP's starting to come through.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Just getting no breathing room at the moment. Even though DB having the Ags, this would be at a time where you'd feel Army Geniuses are content with fighting, but it's really just been Meng Dai, the one getting some space by the triangle, but surprisingly, he's still very far behind in farm. I mean, it's 18 minutes in, still looking for the Echo Saber.
That's what you really need, right? Like, I don't see why you don't at least buy up the Ogre Axe. You know, it's going to help you with farming. It's going to help survivability if they go on you. And, you know, you're not even revealing anything, right? It could be an Echo Saber. It could be a BKB that you're building into. And you're a strength hero. So everything seems to fit for it. They were waiting entirely, though, just to maybe go for a bit of the surprise play. It feels like they need this desperation play coming through here as everyone smokes up except for DB. They're putting him on the front lines, considering he has that Aghanim Scepter, but Wombi doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so he's not going to be able to join in time to help him.
And we'll see if they can dangle DB. He's got that extra life. They'll bring him down the first time. Now the illusion afterwards, so they just completely avoid him. They've got so much mobility to hunt the backline, and 458. It's actually just silenced up. The reveal of the Orchid. UK is going to be the next target, and just completely untouched is 458. From one to the next is OB.Neon running a rampant in this game one. And that might be the fight they're looking for, just to lead back into the Roche Pit. They won't have Shapeshift, of course, but looks like with the Hell minus armor, what's it up to, Mac? Oh, it's only level 3, so it is 6. Okay, that's a decent amount. Who have they caught out? So, Wombi's baited by illusion, unfortunately.
Dire's middle tower.
They still have a lot of their ultimates, in fact, on Army Geniuses. Let's see if they can contest Roche about half. But Neon still feel like they can take the fight. They know the shapeshift's on cooldown. Wami's going to end up falling. At least he gets the arena off. They need to try and protect Mikoto. Supernova's going to be dropped inside the ring. Yours is going to give Mikoto a little bit of space. Pipe as well. Leshrak on the ferry pony is going to make it to the outskirts, and still they don't have the damage to go through Mikoto. He'll somehow get back to safety. Invis Rune, is he going to tick out Mikoto? Finally will fall, but the punishment is well and truly there as Army Geniuses lose 3. They might end up losing the illusion as well. They don't even care about that, but they want to find DB instead. Well, it's going to be Wombi the target. Charge on deep. Looks like they won't find the distance. Hustler still with the Nether Strike on cooldown. It's okay.
That was a really good team fight coming out there from Neon. Obviously, Mikoto, he ends up dying, but some really good micro coming out there from 458. He made sure that his wolves were consistently sitting on the Magnus, keeping that Blink Dagger on cooldown, so he couldn't get the Blink RP into the middle of that team fight. And then after that, Hustler just did the exact same job. Once the wolves were dealt with, he's got the Ion Shell. He ended up taking him down almost entirely on his own.
Uh-oh, DB. Got some damage mitigation. Oh, it's just dangling. Hustler's got status resistance, so they won't find the connection on both with the skewer drag back and instantly Mikoto answering the call to the team fight. He'll find a stun on multiple, and Neon still have not lost anyone. They're so survivable with the sustain items that they picked up, and now they'll just crumble on Army Geniuses up top. They'll look for the Phoenix. Now back to the Venge Illusion, as it's again all Neon, and now they'll think about going back to Roche, which is still a little bit weaker.
It's weak, but they're feeling pretty damn strong. You know, 12k advantage, 21 minutes in, and I mean the armor bonus from the Wild Ring Ripper does help a little bit. Even looking to provide some of that extra vision with the use of the Tornado.
How much is the vision on Tornado?
It's enough to help with dewarding.
That is true. Okay, so they gave him Mikoto, who... Is he going to disassemble for Bloodstone? What's he got on the car? I think he switched up. He's going Shivas. Okay.
Okay. It's a long time to be holding an energy booster just in the back.
Hostile.
We get charge on.
Nice speed of cancel. Oh, good old status resistance. Cool as concept. Then, once again, DB on the front. Oh, what a stun! Big tire. Unfortunately, blinking straight on top of the split earth, and they're dropping their own voice lines as well. As this feels like Neon well, their time up still ticking, but they know they got plenty of time to be able to siege up the high ground.
I don't think there even is a timer anymore. You know, you've got this Venge who cannot scale, but Mangdaya who doesn't have the farm to be able to scale. It's very easy to push with this next to unkillable lineup.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Just see, again, the sustain. I mean, Xiao Yu's got Mech, Pipe, Almost Greaves, Zhang Yuo with the constant uptime. Or I should say the just being able to refresh the mana pool. Oh, nice heals. Can they cancel out? Supernova's
gotta
there,
win
but they
it.
might just target it down. There's no stuns to protect it, and the arena not placed in a perfect position.
Oh, no!
Oh, it was a great RP, but not being able to skew them back to safety. Main Die's even going to be swapped in the middle. I don't know if you want to give away the mag, but they probably feel like this one is at call it territory, and it's felt like with how well Neon has played, they are so content with diving deep underneath the tier 4 tower. I'm a genius. They're going to still stick around at about. They haven't had enough of this game one just yet.
They must be having a great time, because if I would have GG'd out probably about a couple of minutes ago. It just doesn't feel like they've got the avenues there to be able to come back into this one. And it's only going to get worse. You know, you're getting an AC built up soon by 458. Makoto, he's nearly reached his level 20, although he's been speared up.
Yep, pipe in a couple of seconds. I don't think he dies.
And ages, by the way.
Dire's bottom tower
Swap
is
cancels the
under
split earth at least, but my oh my, dude, Makoto's so farmed. 17, 2, and 11. What a
And he's just
performance.
walking around with an empty bottle in his inventory as well, instead of one of these other items. He might look
There we
to,
go.
I was about to say swap it out once he fills it up. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Very quick, very dominant game coming through from Neon. I'm glad I was leaning a little bit further towards them in the draft because of the one lane that I thought they would win. But it was multiple lanes that they ended up coming out clearly on top. So a bit surprising. Hustler's Spirit Breaker did a ton of work in that game. I don't think we can just put all of the praise in onto Makoto, because it was definitely a team effort coming through there.
Oh, without a doubt. And it was just really cool to see how OB.Neon were also able to pair up with their itemization. Like, I think that was a really key thing as well. It wasn't just, you know, we didn't see the Helm of the Overlord, which are intriguing on how different this game would have looked. But I think just overall their heroes and how they itemized really fitted the type of style they needed to play this game. You know, Xiaoyu going for the mechanism and the pipe, Genuel giving them pretty much full uptime across the map, just being able to refresh anyone's mana, the daytime healing as well that you can provide with the Illuminate. It just felt like Neon could sustain through all the damage. And even though Army Geniuses had this teamfight prowess where we almost saw it come into play once, but you know, with that arena supernova, it just didn't even matter. Neon were at a stage where they hit enough of these small utility items to where they could combat the 5-on-5. And I was a little bit worried in that regard, where in the draft I was looking at Genius. I'm like, okay, they've got a lot of team fight. How are Neon going to be able to deal with this? Because you got push, you got some pick off, but you can't really contest against a team fight. And you see it comes through with just the early ball and the itemization. So it was really cool how Neon were able to adapt and recognize what they needed to do to take this game.
I really do feel like the game is completely different as well. If the Venge is 4 and the Gyrocopter is 1, and Phoenix is 5. You know, the Gyro Phoenix lane, it's still pretty decent. You're going to have the minus armor to pair together with the Mars for the God's Rebuke, potentially go for a few more kills there. And when you've got this lineup where it's very deathball, you know they're going to run into you with a Lycan, with a Leshrac. Gyrocopter is probably one of the best heroes that you can have to fight into that, because you know that they're coming, they're going to be grouping up into a small area. You get the Blink RP off, you get the Gyro's call down, you get the flak cannon starting to rain out onto multiple heroes, and you can oftentimes turn things around. So I think the draft wasn't even that terrible for Army Geniuses. It's just what they chose to go with that was kind of throwing me through a loop there. I don't want to see this position 1 Venge anymore. It just feels like an absolute waste.
They are one of the few teams that keep trying to attempt the Vengeful Spirit as a 1. From what we've been seeing, I think we've seen 2 games now so far with DB playing the Venge, and there was another game that we heard about where it didn't go well at all. So Army Geniuses, whether they're going to continue to die on the hill of the Venge 1 or not, only time will tell. We'll be back shortly for our last game of the night.